Hello, Rob from Fountain Pen Journey with a pen review. Now, this is a pen that I've had for quite some time. This is the HongDian 1837 Magpie. Got it from Easy Buy, China, on Etsy, and it seems to come in just two finishes. This is the Magpie finish. As you can see, it's got birds, magpies and leaves and some Chinese writing on there. It's a very, very attractive pen. Now, it's very affordable. It looks like a Maki-e sort of type style of pen. Costs absolutely nowhere near that price. So if you're after something which is Maki-e look alike, then this is a good option, really cheap option. It comes in two finishes, which I can see. There's this Magpie version and also a green flower version, which is basically a green background with green and white flowers on, which is also quite attractive. But this is the one that I bought, which I actually think is rather nice. We'll go through the parts of the pen to begin with. So, slightly domed finial. The clip seems to be below this cap band up here, and the clip is quite a nice unembellished clip. It's fairly stiff, it's functional. Gold cap band with HongDian there engraved on there, nothing on the other side, and this nice, I don't know how this is done. It's definitely not Maki-e, not for this price, but it's a very attractive. It's like an enamelled type of finish with the birds and the butterflies and the leaves. Chinese text, don't know what any of that means. Very, very attractive pen. Really, really nice. Slight smaller cap band here and a black finial there, and it's a good size and it's a metal pen. I'll compare it with the Lamy All-Star Tourmaline, and it's about the same size, so it's quite a decent sized pen. It is much heavier than the Lamy All-Star, but it is a really good quality pen. Cap unscrews in just less than one turn, and it has got a nice big, what I think is probably a number 6 sized steel nib. Two-tone nib, gold and silver. Metal section. Now this section is glossy, it's potentially slippery. So some people who don't like metal sections, you're possibly not going to get on well with this pen, but it is slightly flared, and your fingers do sit very nicely on it. There are some threads that you don't feel, and there is a step up here, which, to be honest, you do feel a little, but it's not sharp, so it's not really an issue. The section, in my view, it's not the longest, but it's comfortable for me. I mean, if you compare it with the Lamy All-Star, then yeah, much bigger section there. It's about 1 centimetre longer. This one has a rounded section, so no funny grips. There's a black plastic feed underneath, and this came with a fine steel nib. It also came with this converter, which is actually really good quality. You get a very good fill with this converter, so full fill really easily, which is a good sign that the converter is actually pretty good. As for the pen, it is a nice weight. It's heavier than most pens, but it is a metal pen, and it's comfortable. I find this very comfortable to write with for long periods. Decent length, good size pen. The cap sort of post, but not deeply, not securely, and I should imagine you'll scuff up this this finish on here if you keep doing that. So not a pen to recommend posting. So let's get on with the writing sample. So I said before that this is a fine steel nib, so I shall write down it's hard starting because I've had it on cap, but I've had no issues with this pen drying out at hard starting. I shall write it as it is spelt, HongDian, I better get this right, 1837, 1837, Magpie, and it has a fine steel nib. Now, I believe that this is bordering more towards medium, so it's, I'd say medium to fine rather than just being a fine nib. Do the writing sample. This is a very, very nice nib. It really is very smooth. I mean, even for a medium nib, this would be very, very smooth. It's perfect, straight out of the box, whatever direction you wish to write in. Very, very nice to write with. Excellent writer. Line variation, it's a stiff steel nib. There is a little bit, you can squeeze tiny amount of line variation out, so no pressure. So it is really, really quite an impressive nib. Wetness, it does have, I'd say, medium wetness, and the flow is absolutely fantastic. It really just keeps up, and it writes and writes and writes for pages and pages, no problem with it whatsoever. The ink, if you're interested, is a very nice dark green teal ink from Pure Pens here in the UK. Cwmidwal, which is a lake in Wales where Pure Pens are based. So overall, I'm really impressed with this. I mean, to be honest, I like the actual design. It's a Maki-e style pen, really attractive, very, very, very affordable, and I love the way it writes. To be absolutely honest, this nib, I have been so impressed with it. It really is spectacularly good. It does an absolutely brilliant job. It's a great pen to write with, and it performs really, really well. So all in all, the only downside that I actually have with this pen is if I wanted to post it, it's not a pen that you can really post very well. And the other thing is that the capping mechanism, you can see that sometimes the threads misalign. The threads are actually quite beefy, so you're not going to cross thread this pen very easily, but I wouldn't say it caps badly, but it's one of those things, if it's just slightly off like it is now, it doesn't cap, so you have to refine the threads. It's a very, very, very minor issue, very minor, not a definite problem with this pen. It's just sometimes it's capping fine now, just occasionally it doesn't cap perfect. Well, you can't get the threads to marry up like there, but easily resolved. So really, really good quality fountain pen. Very impressed for the price. Easy buy on the Etsy, their Etsy store. Got this from China. It took a few weeks to arrive, as they usually do. Don't know what the current wait times for this pen, the green version, would be from them right now. But there we have it. A really, really attractive Maki-e type fountain pen from China, very, very affordable. So I'm really impressed with this pen, so it does definitely get big thumbs up from me. It's the first HongDian pen that I've bought. I know that there was the HongDian, I think it was Black Forest, which was a all black sort of stealth metal pen that was kicking around late in 2019, and that was getting quite a lot of positive reviews. I didn't fancy it because it just didn't inspire me enough to buy it, but this HongDian did. And quite honestly, if I see any more of these HongDian pens, I think I may well be tempted to buy them. Just purely on the fact that the quality of this pen is really high, and they write really, really well. I mean, I've had, as you know, if you subscribe to my channel, you will have seen that I concentrate a lot on the really low-end pens, of course, which many come from China, and they tend to be a little bit hit and miss. I mean, even Pen BBS, I've had a fair number of their pens where I've had to tweak the nibs and things, but this wrote straight away perfectly well out of the box. So really, really impressed with this nib. I mean, it's a fantastic writer. One of the best quality pens from China that I have had in recent time. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I shall see you next time. Bye.